Se olisi sitten WrestleMania viikonloppu. Tosin kick-offi on vasta semmoisen 6 tunnin päästä, joten ehtiä tässä vähän Pentimenttiäkin vielä pelata. Ja mihinkäs me tässä viimeksi jäätiinkään? Me enää pelata Andreaksella, me pelataan tällä... Ketä nyt oli? Magdalene, Drukkarin Klaussin tytär, eli tämän kirjapainajan. Ja tällä kertaa me ei olla... Me ei ole murhaa tällä kertaa, vaikka joku kyllä yrittikin tappaa Klaussen. Vaan meidän täytyisi maalata seinämaalaus tuoda raatihuoneelle. Ja käsittelee Tassingin kylän historiaa. Ja sitä varten meidän pitäisi vähän kerätä tietoja. Joo, Martinolla oli tämä kirja. Se yrittää löytää jostain. Matsiolle pitäisi kirjoittaa kirje. Mä kävin siellä kirjoituspöydän luona jo. Mä en ainakaan vielä pystynyt. Sitä tekemään Il Peterille voidaan käydä juttelemassa. Black Tilille. Ja Smokille. Tässä kohtaa voidaan sanoa semmoisen asian, että viimeisen streamin jälkeen, siinä joku tunti pari sen päätyttyä, mulla välähti semmonen ajatus, että mä luulen, että toi Smoke on se mastermind, joka täällä vetelee ihmisten naruista ja usuttaa niitä tappamaan. Tosiaan mahdollisesti jopa on itsekin se, on itse se murhaaja, joka täällä tappaa porukkaa. Mä en ole siitä ihan varma, että olisinko mä pystynyt noissa aiemmissa chaptereissa selvittämään sen todellisen murhaajan. Tätä mun teoria nojaa siihen, että Smokihan tietää kaiken, mitä täällä kylässä tapahtuu. Se on se juorumies. Ja se on silleen sopivasti koko ajan syrjässä. Se on tuolla charcoal burnerissa. Tai siis burnerin luona. Ja se siellä sentään pala. Niin pelaaja vähän niinku unohtaa se olemassaolo. Tosin nyt kun miettii tarkemmin, niin no varmaan onko tää peli missään vaiheessa pakottanut mua käymään Smokin juttu sellainen kuin vasta nyt. Se olisi vähän ehkä outoa, jos vastas 3. chapterissa paljastui. Ei, se olikin se murhaaja. Pelaaja mahdollisesti on nähnyt sitä ollenkaan 2 aikaisessa chapterista. Ehkä mä nyt en olekaan nyt ihan niin 100 varma sen syyllisyydestä. Kyllä mä sitä epäilen vahvasti siltä. Anyway. Croucher Houseen tai noihin muutamin paikkoihin. Il Peter on varmastikin tuolla Kertterin maatilalla. Olisiko Till sitten mahdollisesti tuolla kaivoksen luona? En tiedä. Croucher. Ketä noi Croucherit oli? Ei kun Black Tail Croucher. Okei, se on just tuolla Croucher-talossa. Kuka tuolla suolakaivoksessa sitten mukaus? Ehkä me kiertelen täällä kylässä ennen kuin valkkaan, että mitä nostamalla tutkimaan. Mulla ei välttämättä taas ole tilaisuutta käydä noita kaikkia läpi. Mary, Mother of Jesus. Her painting has been here as long as I can remember. Oh, God bless you, Magdalene. And you, Father Thomas. You look troubled. What's the matter? I seem to have lost the key to the tabernacle. Without it, we'd have to go without the Eucharist on Sunday. Is that very bad? Can't you borrow some from the poor class? What? Oh no, I consecrate the host for them as well. I usually take it to them before we begin Mass in town. Without the Blessed Sacrament, we cannot truly celebrate Mass. Without Mass, everyone in Tassing risks their salvation. So our salvation could be in peril because you lost the key to the tabernacle. I wouldn't put it quite like that. Should I need to, I'll have a great bake loaf and I can consecrate that. Even afterward, I cannot leave the house out. I must find that key. I'll keep an eye out for it then. Thank you, Magdalene. Please let me know if you have any ideas as to where it might be. God bless you. I wonder if Sister Emily has seen the tabernacle key anywhere. I shall talk with her. Father Thomas told me that the key to the tabernacle went missing recently. He's asked me to keep an eye out for it and return it to him if I locate it. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Sister Emily. What brings you to the church this time of day? Lighting another votive candle for your father? Votive candle. Small candles lit during prayer in churches, symbolizing a specific offering or request on the behalf of the prayer giver. I was hoping to speak with you, sister. Have you seen Father Thomas' tabernacle key anywhere? He's misplaced it. I'm afraid I have not. Everything in the church has been as it should be. So I did hear the two gardener children come in last evening. I did not rise, but I heard her whispering for a moment. They left as suddenly as they came. Why didn't you say anything? I didn't think anything of it. Many people come into the church throughout the week. This is a sacred space and the people of Tassing respect it as such. They respect my privacy in this place and I respect theirs. I see. I see that Finns come into confession more than most of the young folk in Tassing. Their intentions last night may have been pure. If not, however, it would be Christian to remind them that this is against the Lord's commandments. Of course. I might go have a chat with them. I advise that you do what you feel is right in your heart. Thank you, sister. God bless you. God bless you, Magdalene. Sister Emily told me that she hears Artemis and Apollo come into confession more than any of the other younger folk in town. She'd like to believe their intentions are pure, but I know that twins are mischievous and may have ulterior motives. Artemis Apollo. tonne kirjattuna. Keiden lapsia nyt sitten oliko? Hei Magdalene. Onks laki potkassut tyhjää vai? Minkä takia sitä näyttää? Good morning, Magdalene. Brisk weather today, isn't it? And still Craft is out there working with Father Thomas to repair the church. I worry about that boy sometimes. He wants the storm, but I'm not always sure he has his mind set on it. Masonry is a good trade. Everyone needs a stonemason now and then to repair things. That they do. Lucky always harped on about how being honest and trustworthy is the most valuable currency. How in this life hard work and reputation matter the most. Kraft has taken that to heart, I think. He does a lot of good for the town. I've offered to find an apprenticeship for him, but he won't make his damn mind up. He deserves a chance at the life he wants. He's lived in his father's shadow for too long. He's a good man, Agnes. You should be proud. Thank you, Magdalene. I've done my best for my household, despite what's happened in the past few decades. Ah, well, you didn't come here to hear me ramble on about my family. What can I do for you? I thought you might have some additional remedies for my father. Awareness not enough? I understand Klaus's condition is dire, but I thought Werner would be able to provide something. I know it will save him, but I still want to try everything I can. Every little bit helps. I understand. Let me see what I can whip up. I can't promise anything, but God willing, I pray it provides some small help. Thank you, Agnes. Of course, Magdalene. Take care. I can smell the anise on the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. Dad always brought anise cakes from Gret to help soothe my stomach when I was ill. Shh, Mac, I'm hiding. Magdalene, darling. Good morning, Gret. It smells heavenly in here. Oh, I've just finished rolling out some raisin bread. I thought that Andreas and Ulrika could use a treat today. Any special occasion? Oh, not really. I didn't want the raisins to go to waste. Besides, I like to drop in on Anna and see my grandchildren. I'm more blessed than I ever imagined I would be. Paul and Anna make such a lovely pair. Ulrich wouldn't believe his eyes if he saw us now. I wish he could see his grandchildren. I did always think it was strange that your daughter married the son of the man who killed your husband. You're right. I was angry when Anna first took a liking to young Paul. He was always a quiet boy, but I was afraid he'd turn out like his father. Well, I needn't have worried. Paul is a good man and a good father. He's built this town back up from what it was. And Elsie dotes on those children more than I do. She's certainly come a long way from the meek woman I met. Really? She seems so kind though. I can't imagine her as anything else. Ah well, Lanhart was a hard man to live with. He had a firm hand. You wouldn't know it by how she and Paul are. The kindest souls you'll ever meet. I've been chatting too long. My toes need tending. Please excuse me, Magdalene. Of course, Grit. Until later. Good day, Mistress Druckerin. The Rat House is the biggest building in Tassin. Balta's clock took ages to build and place. Ciao, Magdalene. What a mess. I don't know how Baltas can get anything done with all this in the way. Magdalene. Yes? The cinnamon just right for the beer. Isn't that a spice? Yes, with many wonderful properties. It's for the Christmas celebration. Already? We're barely into November. The wheel of time stops for no man. But it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon, coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World. Jeesus Kristus, tänään rufaa se tuttu. Jesus Christ, he who has the money can do everything. Problem? Of course not, it's your money. Anyway, I'm quite excited about it. Clearly. And such alchemy is not normally my strong suit. And for all of Ignatius' complaints about the cost, the base rye we're using is free. Given the other ingredients, I'd imagine it doesn't make much of a difference to the cost. Yes, at least someone around here is aware of the costs. Do I not have more than enough money to cover everything 10 times over? Of course, but then I don't want to hear another word about it. The farmers had so much rye this year, they just couldn't use it all. Gret made as much bread with it as she could, but she wound up having to throw a lot out. So, why not make beer? Yes, why not? Thank you. Mikäs tästä seuraavaksi? Blacksmith ainakin voisi käydä tsekkaamassa. Myllyn. Mylly ja majatalo ja sitten noin farmit. Jos on lisää ihmisiä tänne. Ulrike Müllerin, daughter of Anna and Paul Müller. Kraft Bauer, son of Brigitta and Martin Bauer, grandson of Agnes and late Lucky Steinauer. Morning, Magdalene. How's the mural coming along? Well, I think I'm off to start the first part of the mural today. I'll paint the founding of Tassing and the Romans. Well, you want for any models? Tassing is littered with Roman ruins. It's almost a nuisance. What sort of mural are you creating, Magdalene? I believe Klaus was planning on a fresco. Well, I'll start with the internacho and then paint the fresco over it, so that I have a clear consistency. Ah, I see. Do you have enough plaster? The rat house ball is so large, I was worried it wouldn't stay wet for long. Since when did the town miller know so much about art? It's been an interest of mine since childhood, but my father disapproved. After my mother and I left Tassing, we stayed with her family for a few months before we heard what happened. My father's friend Andreas, he encouraged me to draw. While we were away, I studied in my uncle's library. I collected books about various art styles since we returned. That sounds like it was a difficult time to live through. It was. Honestly, it's thanks to Andreas that I had the courage to come back. He encouraged me when no one else did. I was so young then. Funny how much of an impact someone can make on your life in so small a time. Well, anyway, I'm glad the mural is going well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. I've been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting I haven't had as much time with Anna as usual. She says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. Is the council working on something new? We're considering yearly maintenance checks on every house in Tassing. The idea's had quite a bit more pushback than we'd anticipated. I can understand the utility of the proposition, but it might feel like a nuisance. Precisely, and that's the issue we run into. This would help protect those in Tassing who don't have the skill to fix things themselves. Widows like Agnes are great. But without instituting it for the whole town, we can enforce the proposition. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. I had better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, Magdalene. God bless you. Until later, Paul. No, tätä täällä eri korko. Totta helvetistä on eri korkosta, se on 18 vuotta kulunut aika. This old statue of St. Moritz has seen better days. Snow is creeping down at the mountains. Winter will be here soon. Päässyt tuonne rauniolle täältä. Aikaisemmin kyllä pääsin. I can smell the anise on the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. Mä kattoo mitä tästä luostarista on jäljellä. Oh, hello, Magda. You wouldn't happen to be going to the convent? Why do you ask? Are you thinking to join the poor Clares? Maybe. Why on earth would you want to do that? Be honest, what do I have to look forward to? Dad's injury and me unwed at 25, older than all the boys in town. If they don't see me as a sister, they see me as a mom. And when Dad dies, not anytime soon, God willing, I won't be able to claim the farm. I lose my home. With Anton gone, there's nobody to take it over. You could still get married before the time comes. If I'm honest with myself, do I even want to? There's little to look forward to with so few options in Tasing. Oikein käsitys tietää millaisia nää tyypit on. Oikein Kraft oli se muurarin poika. Apollo. Muista Apollon kanssa on puhuttu jossain vaiheessa. Nyt ainakin oli vähän daju-olon. Tällaista Apollosta muistaakseni oikein pitänyt. That's Kraft. If he's such a treasure, why haven't you married him yet? It frightens me sometimes. There's fissure of unhappiness in his heart that goes all the way through him. And like that, you can never really get close to them, can you? They want to stay hurting. Maybe I'd have more prospects if I lived in a big city. But the convent would provide for me and bring me closer to God. Why not withdraw from the trials of the world? You know as well as I, it's not safe out here. The abyss was still protected during the revolt. Sooner or later the world comes knocking, with swords. I don't like to think about things like that. I have enough worries to keep me sleeping as it is. But joining the poor Clares is a lifelong commitment. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't think you should join the order. You're still young and have more prospects than you know. Joining the poor Clares takes away that chance. People are always visiting Tasing. Who knows? Maybe you'll meet someone coming to see St. Moritz. I never thought of that. I do like seeing all the people who come into town. I don't quite want to give up on the rest of the world just yet. Besides, I still have Dad to take care of. If I joined the order, he'd be on his own. I don't think it's the right time for me to join the poor Clares. Maybe someday, but not yet. Thanks for talking with me, Magda. I've had a lot on my mind. I'm glad I could help, Martha. Until later, be well. Moritsin käsi on palautettu tänne. The hand of Saint Moritz. The poor Clares take care of it now that the Benedictines are gone. Niin senpä kanssa muistin, että ennen kuin Otto tapettiin, niin sehän mainitsi, että se oli löytänyt Saint Moritzin pään. Se piti esitellä se myöhemmin. Mutta sitten se, kuten mainittua, murhattiin ja sitä ei mun mielestä enää mainittu sen jälkeen. Mäkin sitten vähän unohdin sen koko pääjutun. Ja se on varmaan se syy, minkä takia se murhattiin. Mugwort is always useful for colds and fevers. It might not be as powerful as when we got it on St. John's Eve, but it should still work. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Sister Gertrude. Are you doing all right? Father Thomas told us about your father's attack. You were incredibly courageous to run to your stall so quickly, especially when the attacker could have been about. Hildegard's Physica, medical treatise by Hildegard of Bingen, saint and doctor of the Church. It presents 9 categories of healing. Plants, elements, trees, stones, fish, birds, animals, reptiles, and metals. It's thanks to you, really. Without reading Hildegard's Physica, I would not have realized he was so badly hurt. Well, I'm glad she came in useful, although I wish it were not in such dire circumstances. I lit an extra votive candle in Saint Satia's shrine for each of you this morning. Dad says that the pain has gone down, but Dr. Stoltz is worried about a brain hemorrhage. I might have some psyllium left in the herb hut. If you blend it with broth or warm wine, it will heat his brain and prevent infection. I pray you're right. I'm trying to keep busy with the mural, but sometimes I just want to cry. The Lord hears your tears, Magdalene. Take solace in his everlasting goodness. He will turn this for good, no matter what things look like now. He sees beyond time itself, but we are constricted by the present. I have been around long enough to see fruits, even when I've thought the devil had burnt the fields. Keep faith, Magdalene. Thank you, sister. Your words warm my heart. God bless you, sister. God bless you, Magdalene. Son of Mousefanger. Tätä on aika vanha kissa nyt. Hello, Margaret. It's Magdalene. Oh, Magdalena, God bless you. You don't normally come to the convent alone. What brings you here? Not that you're not welcome, of course. It's always wonderful to have visitors. I had some spare time and thought I would say hello. Oh, well, hello. Haha. It is good to hear your voice. It is good to hear your voice, Tom. I enjoy it when outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, sister? Yes, sometimes. I miss the other Benedictine sisters especially. She'd never admit it, but Sister Lisbeth had the most wonderful voice. I always stood next to her if I could. Why stay then? Why didn't you leave when the Benedictines left Kiersau? Truth be told, I was too frightened to leave. Kiersau is my home. I didn't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place. Learning the convent's ins and outs was hard enough. I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is here, even if it's changed over the years. Sister Gertrude has already planned to stay too. The garden always needs tending and 2 hands make light work. Besides, I can't leave Mousefanger behind. Of course, she truly is Queen of Kiersau. Has the convent changed very much since the poor Clares arrived? Yes, the food is simpler and some of the prayers are different, but all the chores and gardening is the same. Gertrude misses making ink for the scriptorium, but I've enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to my chores. Of course, sister. Apologies for interrupting. Not at all, Magdalene. God bless you. Mä en nyt sitä rohtoa löytänyt täältä. Nyt mä voisin antaa Klausille. God bless you, Magdalene. I had been hoping to speak with you. Do you perhaps have a moment? Of course, mother. How can I help? I had heard that you had taken up the mural in the rat house after your father's terrible attack. Yes, I'm excited to paint the town's history. Your enthusiasm and insistence is most troubling to some people in town. You would not happen to be including yourself in that group, would you? Very astute, Magdalene. Yes, I am concerned for you, as are others. I understand how you must have struggled with your mother passing while you were so young. Without a maternal figure to guide you, it is no wonder your spirit has wandered and wavered from its nature. My spirit's fine, thanks. The pursuit of such traits is not for women, but men. As Paul writes, God calls women to walk at home, not in trades. While supporting your father is laudable, taking on his work is imprudent. There are plenty of young men in Tassin worthy of you, or perhaps you have a different calling. I'd like to offer you a place here, among the sisters. Wait, who's saying I'm troubling? And how did you hear that anyway? Aren't you all stuck up here? Magdalene, your insistence to paint the mural has been the talk of the town. Even the sisters hear something of what affects Tassin. But if I must know, Father Thomas suggested that joining the convent may be good for you. I agree with him. I appreciate your concern, Mother, but I assure you, you have nothing to worry about. Very well. The people of Tassin care for you, Magdalene. Do not forget that. If you do seek guidance, I'm always available. God bless you. Semmosta on Thomas mun selän takana mennyt tekemään. I love watching the violets bloom every year. They match the purple of the mountains. Hi. Hello, Magdalene. How is your father? Unwell still and getting worse. Is he eating? You must make sure that he's eating. I know the season makes it difficult, but he needs the best of what you have in stores if he's here. I'll send Nico over with a few of our good apples later. I'm sure Klaus would appreciate the visit. I'm very grateful to you both. Well, it's mutual. Your father has done so much for me and Nico these past few years. He even counseled us in our... never you mind. Your what? Oh, it's only that. Well, your father is a learned man. In books, yes, but in matters of family, though. You're proof enough. I should think a respectable young woman like you raised all alone. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought up your mother. I know it still hurt, Claus. It's alright. You've grown into quite a woman, Magdalene. I hope you find a happy marriage with a man worthy of the woman your father raised. I suppose we'll see. As God wills it. But that's enough talk from me. There's work to be done. The inn doesn't run itself. Until later, Magdalene. Until then. Magdalene? Magdalene, tell me something. If I must. I'm your elder and I'm on the council. Why was I cursed with a life in Tassing? What does this pathetic little hamlet have to offer a man like me? Tell me, Magdalene. You're drunk again, aren't you? I was destined for the courts of kings. Not a town full of peasants who churn out more of themselves than rabbits in the meadow. But how fair craftsmen, learned men like myself, Baltas, even your father, have their minds wasted. And in a few decades we will be dead and Tassing will forget us all. God doesn't care, he never cared for me. He deserted us all when the Abbey was destroyed. If he even exists. You've heard too many, Doctor. You don't know what you're saying. I've never been more clear-headed. You sound like Baltas, always vomiting at her end of words. Stupid words. Why are you so resentful of Baltas? He's always lecturing me. All these years he's thought he's better than me. I can see it clear as David did with an air of cheerfulness. I thought you were friends. Baltas doesn't know what a friend is. All he needs is an audience. You, with the mural, I don't know what you want with it. It's beyond you. Stay at home, cook your bland peasant food. Look after your dying father. Pick herbs for whatever provincial remedies you still hold to. Do what you're meant for. I'm going to do nothing less than exactly what I want. It is improper and unnatural. Just like you. I could have found a wife in Nuremberg. It's Tassing that's the problem. Not a woman here ever looked my way. You'll never find a husband with that attitude of yours, girl. Tongue-tied the moment someone talks back. Surprise, surprise. If you're determined to be an asshole, I'm going to leave. I have a mural to work on. Do what you want, Magdalene. Just don't ruin the mural. Not that it matters anyway. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. Any luck finding the tabernacle key? Alas, no, it remains out of reach. I'm sure it will turn up eventually, Father. Yes, as the Lord sees fit. In the meantime, I shall keep looking. Knock at the door will be opened, after all. God bless you, Magdalene. Apollo Gertner, son of Veronica and Big York Gertner, twin brother of Artemis. Jaa, ne on. Okei, joo. Niitten kersta. Hey Max. Got your way with the mural, huh? I didn't expect you to convince the council like that. I can be pretty stubborn when I want to, Utz. Clearly, I'm impressed. The rest of the council has been arguing over the matter for so long, even I couldn't get a word in. Then you come in and shut them up in a few minutes. We could use more women like you in the town. There are plenty of opinionated women in town. Want to let us join the council? Well, you'd have to talk that up with the Lord. Besides, I don't think any of them are as hard-headed as you. You're the exception, Magdalene. You always are. Clearly I've forgotten about Agnes. She doesn't suffer fools gladly. That's not what I meant, she's not... Oh, never mind. Forget about it. Anyway, standing up to the council like that was great. I know I'm at the council, but sometimes it doesn't seem like I have any influence. Yurts actually seems insecure about his place on the council. He may be an ass sometimes, but I don't like to see him so upset. Maybe I should reassure him. You do though. You voted for me to do the mural in the first place. Only after your dad did. I still feel bad about that. I should have stuck up for you. Being the youngest one of the council has been harder than I thought. I know Balthas and Werner don't think I'm capable, and even Paul has warned me about being too rash. My dad died trying to make a difference in this town. All I'm trying to do is carry on his legacy, but it seems like the others won't make room for any change. Keep pushing, Edge. They're stuck in the past, but we're looking toward the future of Tassin. Thanks, Max. Magdalene? It'll take time, but maybe they'll listen to me eventually. Oh well, better get back to it. See you later, Max. Hello, Eva. Magda, darling, Eds isn't here, I'm afraid. So be all. I wasn't looking for him. Oh? Are you sure? I think he wandered off toward the rat house. Something about the council, but if you ask me, I think he's looking for you. That's sweet of him. He has been dropping by the rat house more often as of late. He is quite fond of you. I'm surprised he has any time to visit town. He's always working on town council business these days, and he's still working at mastering carpentry too. I suggested a few years ago that he take up an apprenticeship, but he was determined to remain in Tassin. I think he's more comfortable here, even if that means he'll never be the craftsman Otto was. I help him how I can, but there's only so much I know how to do. Besides, I think he feels like he's taking care of me instead of the other way around. Funny how time does that. I would jump at the chance with Tassin if it didn't mean Dad would be left alone. I imagine Ötz felt the same. Oh, I wouldn't have been alone. I have Mom in York and the rest of the family to help take care of. Besides, they keep me busy. I'll never want for anything with us and the community here in Tassing. I miss my husband, but I'm proud of Ötz. He's growing into a capable young man. I'm excited to see him grow into a husband and father. He'll make a wonderful partner. Whoever he marries will be a lucky woman. It's about that time to start finding a match too. It's wonderful that God blessed Endris with a wife at last, but I try to not have Ötz be in his position. Better to marry earlier while he can raise a family. Anyway, I'm sure you have things to do. I'll let you get back to them. Always good to see you, Magda. You too, Eva. Hi, Magda. Hello, Christina. What are you doing today? Helping Mom. Ötz is right. You're really pretty. Oh, you said that? Uh-huh. I heard him in craft. Hee. Don't tell, it's a secret. Oh, I'll keep it a secret. Haha. You're funny, Magda. Hello, Magdalene. Good morning, Magdalene. Hello. Good day, Master Muller. What are you up to today? Drawing. Anything interesting? No, secrets. I'm good at keeping secrets. I'm drawing Schiffe. Oh, I see. I'll leave you to it then. God bless you, Magdalene. Magdalene dear. Good day, Magdalene. Hi. How is your father? He's doing better, I think. You have my prayers. You'll need them with Werner on the case. And I do not speak ill of the good doctor. He's doing his best. He's a bitter washed-up drunkard. Everyone knows it. We all have eyes. Yet we ought to trust and believe in him. It may inspire him to be better. Hasn't he had enough time to become better? We're all always growing and becoming more as people, Magdalene. Tell that to whoever he gets killed with his incompetence. No matter, I'm just glad to be sitting down for a moment. I'm so tired. Andreas and Ulrika can wear it down. Even the most vigorous person. Not even young Ötz could keep up with these two. The blessing and the curse of small children. Yeah. Mom! Ulrika, is she alright? Oh yes, she wanted to run off and hide us. I so I could fight her after I caught my breath for a moment. Haha. I don't think she appreciates me taking this long. You're playing along, Andres, hiding like your sister? No. This young man won't lose sight of his mom. Say, Magdalene, could you perhaps find Ulrika in my stead? Oh, of course, I'd be delighted. Wonderful, she's somewhere in town, although I'm not sure where by now. She ran up the street towards the bakery. I imagine you can find her by the giggling. Eh. I'll be off then. On to on. Pojalleen nimeksi Andreas. Tää siitäkin voisi ajatella. Aika sekana kaunaa siitä, että Andreas vähän niinku aiheutti sen isän kuolema. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Voislav. How are you two? Voislav. Very well. The Lord has blessed Warden with the soul. And how are you, Magdalene? I was worried with you keeping the house and the workshop all in your own. Miks Matilda yksistä nunnista? Aika toi se asento vähän muistuttais mua niistä. Let me bring me some soup for you. Let me bring by some soup for you and your father. You're very kind, Matilda, thank you. Not at all, Magdalene. This is how Voislav and I served as in. Our vocation may have changed, but our gratitude to God and the town has not. It's hard to imagine you two ever lived in the Abbey. Huh, sometimes those days feel like another lifetime. A harder time to be so. I thought the Abbey was better off than the town in those days. So we were told, but in private I believe Father Kern struggled to provide for a scriptorium and a double monastery. Didn't help that Guy was living off the top. However, seeing both the town and Kiersar's struggles was only a part of what made that time hard. A nun's life can be challenging, but I never had to deal with the difficulties you do now, Magdalene. What about your old life was difficult for you? I struggled with my vows, my discipline. I couldn't live as my sisters did. It broke my vows. I broke my vows, as did Voislav. We fell in love. We did. Well, I seduced her. You certainly did not. Are you telling young Magda here that you seduced me then? Voislav, please. So you left Abbey. Though no one learned of what we did, the matter ate at my heart. I thought being falsely accused of murdering the old Baron terrified you, and rightly so. You all must account for our sins, Magdalene. I was afraid I would account for mine sooner than I thought. Those were the hardest years of my life. I repented and prayed to God to absolve me. But the Lord always provides, even in the darkest days. The Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance. It must be strange to live that life after so long. Oh, well, I will admit it, it's been strange not being able to enter the convent. I miss the sisters. Terrible some days, but truthfully it's been a relief not to be constrained by my vows. The Lord forgives more readily than man, Magdalene. Never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others think it godly. I'm glad you two are finally able to live together. You both deserve it. Only by the grace of God are we in this life together. May it be many more years before we part. God willing. Anyway, Magdalene, I'll send that soup over to you shortly. Thank you, Matilda. God bless you, Magda. God bless. Hello, Magdalene. House close. Resi and I are very worried. alive, and that's what matters. Did you discover who attacked him? No, whoever it was, they left no sign. A terrible crime, terrible. May God look after you both. We've had enough tragedy in this town. Has Gertrude been by to see him? I'd trust her over the doctor. He's not reliable. He's all dead and I don't know what to do, Andres. Oh, Magdalene, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't gossip. If there's anything Resi and I can do for you, let us know. I will. Thank you for your kindness, Andres. It's nothing. I owe your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalene.
Hello, Mistress Dukerin. How is Klaus? Andres and I have been terribly worried. That spirits are high, but he still gets headaches and spells of dizziness. If there's anything we can help you with, let us know. Andres is always ready to provide. He and Klaus have been friends for a long time. If you don't mind, you weren't born in Tassing, am I right? No, I am originally from Innsbruck. How did you arrive here? The twists of Providence are sudden and unpredictable. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares on the market, pots and the like. One day this man appears at the stall, all ears and nerves, stammering over his words, but charming in a way. We spoke at length. I was intrigued, and soon enamored, as if a candle had been lit. Andres is a man of talent and means, after all, blessed with a kind soul. How did it feel to leave home for someone somewhere far away, uprooting yourself from the life you had? Frightening, to be sure, leaving Innsbruck, my friends and family behind. But it was exciting as well, going off to find new opportunities and build a new life. There wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck, few prospects for a poor girl. I couldn't see myself sitting at the market continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. That's very inspiring, Resi. I'm glad you found happiness here. We all struggle in this world, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. It's how God has set the world, His benevolence guiding us through it all. I feel I've been blessed, and it's not been all bad for Andres either. Heh. I assist him with the bookkeeping side of the smithy and other things. You must be very good with numbers then. The smithy provides a crucial trade. The market's taught me well. I'm a fair bit more comfortable with numbers than Andres, to say the least. I can't tell you any true answers, but I hope I provided some encouragement. Don't forget, you are important as well and deserve to live your life. Alright, I have to assist Andres with a few things. Be well, Magdalene. Until later, Therese. Ah, there you are. You found me. Ei tolla nyt se hattu, mikä Anna varasti Andrakselta. Bet you can't find me again, Mag. No, tämmösenkö me nyt sitten haaskataan aikaa? Got you. Oh, you found me again. Wait here, I will find a better spot. You can't hide from me, little bean. You're too good, Mac. I will go find Mom now.
Enkä sä lues achievementtia siitä.
Ah, there you are. Had enough of hiding, Ulrich? Yes. Magda found me so quick. She's a good finder.
No one can escape me, little one.
I hide better next time. I'm hungry now. We'll have to get you something to eat then, little down. Pretzel? Oh, is that what a proper child eats? Thank you for your time, Magdalene. Always glad to play with the children, but I really have to go now. I can't wait to see what you'll end up painting. You will do us proud, I'm sure of that. I hope so. Until later.
Ah, Magdalene, how are the hinges on your doors? Fine, I guess. Maybe Andrew should take a look at them. I would have asked your father, but, well... Anyway, you would not believe how many people in this town lived here in just a rust.
I didn't realize you had such an interest in hinges.
Oh, it's not my interest in particular. Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all homes in Tassing.
What do you think of the idea, Jörg?
Well, it's not a bad thing, but I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in Tassing helps each other. As I see it, if someone notices a house in disrepair, we all pitch in to fix it. To do anything else would be unchristian. But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know. Speaking of, I'd better get back to work. Nice to chat with you, Magda.
See you later, Jörg. Hello, Magdalene. How is the mural going? I hope my husband hasn't been bothering you about it too much.
No, the ghost has left me to work for the most part. I think Urge has something to do with that.
That boy has his eye on you, Magda. At least he's using his authority to do some good. Usually that lot just meddle around in things that are best left alone. Those men are bad influences on each other, if you ask me. Now they're chattering on about a yearly check on the hinges on every door in town. Hinges? Who gives a damn if the hinges on our front door creak? They're just trying to keep the town in order. They'd do better keeping themselves in order first. Especially Werner. Anyway, I think it's good of you to be working on the mural. I wish Artemis and Apollo would take interest in something like that. Speaking of, have you seen them around anywhere? I asked them to look after the chickens, but they've disappeared. I haven't seen them recently, but they like to mess around in the forest. Maybe they wandered off there. This town isn't that big. I don't know where they get to that I can't find them. Father Thomas says they're only so much trouble because I named them after Greek gods. He says those names have power, but I still like them. Besides, Apollo and Artemis were gods of virtues. If anything, they should be more well-behaved. Names have only as much trouble as we allow them to have. Can every Greek name really invoke pagan gods? Maybe you're right. Father Thomas spends too much time in his books. Besides, then he'd be in a poor state. Father Thomas the Doubter. Haha. Anyway, I better go find those rascals. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Thanks, Veronica. Until later. Hello, Magdalene, dear. How are you? How's Klaus? It's hard to know for certain. One day he seems well, and the next I can hardly understand his words. Oh, Magdalene, I'll keep praying for you both. The both of you deserve the best. Life's been hard enough for you already. Please let me know if you need any help around the house. I'd be happy to help. Oh, thank you, Clara. That's very kind of you. I've been so busy in the rat house, I've let the house go a bit. Not to worry, I'll come by and help. Besides, then we can chat and chatter and make chores pass quickly. With all my children up and grown and no husband to care for anymore, I got to make myself useful somehow. Big George is still in the house though, isn't he? Oh yes, but he's a grown man with children of his own. He and Veronica are capable of caring for their own household now. Eva is taking care of Ötz, and Ursula and Fabian have their own life together. They don't need me anymore. You sound sad. Ah, well, I suppose I am. I thank God that my children are all grown and prospering. But I do feel there's been something missing in my life. After so many years of tending to them and maintaining a home, I don't know what else to do. I understand. I wouldn't know what to do if I couldn't keep working with the printing press. You are a driven one, Magdalene. The Lord has given you a gift. Never let anyone take that from you, even though you're young. You'll make a good life for yourself that way. I won't, promise. Good. Anyway, I'll come by later, alright? I'll see you then, Clara. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. I hope her dad recovers quickly. He's a good man. I hope so too. This town has just too many terrible things, but we've recovered before. Maybe the Lord will return your dad to health too. I pray you're right. Really big glad how this time with him, Asa. Wish I'd had as much with Heilwig. Anyway, did you need something? Kraft hasn't bothered you again, has he? Or gotten into some other trouble? No, he's been fine, mostly. Good, that was a thorn in my boot. He's lazy, arrogant, doesn't care for his family. He'll bring shame to the Bauer name one day. I avoid sticking my nose into people's affairs, but Martin... Anyway, didn't mean to complain. Until later, Magdalene. Until then. Hey, Magdalene. I heard what happened to your dad. How's he doing? Resting. He suffered a severe blow to the head. I'm worried to say the least. Hans sends his regards. The Bauer household is praying for a swift recovery. Thank you, and thank Hans and Jutta as well. I will. Klaus has always been such a bedrock of dancing. I'd hate for him to die. It'd be, sorry. It's fine, I fear it as well. It's best not to ignore one's fears. Do you miss your father? Your real one, I mean. Do I miss him? Kinda. I don't remember Joseph all that much. He's become a use of sorts, a faint echo, a feeling, an occasional emotion. I was so young when he got killed. Mom said I had trouble understanding what had happened for a long time. I understand. My mom, she's like an empty hole in my life. I have nothing of her. Ah yeah, you never even got to see her, right? Not even a memory, huh? Suppose you have yourself for comparison. God molded you after her. I can imagine how she could be like stubborn and unruly, yeah? But can I know if I'm actually like my mom? All I have are stories from people. Well, you read books, don't you? Stories about things that are true. Not always. Really? What's the point of books then? Ah well, I can read anyway. Would you want to learn? Don't have the time. Work on the farm never ends, especially with taxes eating at us. Anyway, the winter draws closer, so I got a lot of preparations to take care of. I truly hope Klaus recovers soon. God, look after you both. Until later, Simon. Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural coming? I hear you browbeat the council into letting you do it yourself. I don't care about the council, I only want to finish the mural for my dad. You're a beautiful girl, Magdalene, no one can fault you for that. But you painted a rat house? I can't imagine that would have happened when I was a girl. Only those old Benedictine sisters ever did much art. Do you think they were happy without anyone around to keep things from them? What a life. Except for the prayers, of course. Listening to Father Thomas on Sundays is enough for me. Anyway, it's good to see you standing up to the council. That Zimmerman boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders though. Once you settle down with him, you'll have a good life ahead of you. It's hard to think of my future right now with what's happened to my dad. Oh, sweet girl, I'm sorry, my mouth goes faster than my head sometimes, or so my Johan used to say. Your dad's only ever been a fair weather friend to people like me, but he is a family man at heart and I can respect that. I hope he knows how lucky he is to have you looking after him. He regrets it, you know, what happened the night the abbey burned. I'm sure he does. He could have made a real difference for us. Stuck his neck out, but he was scared. We all wish things could turn out different, but that's life. Huh. Anyway, give my best wishes to your father, and take care of yourself. Thanks, Hedy. Until later. Until then. Hey, Magdalene. Koska tarvitse käydä täällä? Hyvän talon luona. Fabian Rauch, farmer, husband of Ursula, father of Walburga. Artemis Gärtnerin, daughter of Veronica and Björk Gärtner, twin sister of Apollo.
Mikä talo tää sitten on? Niin, onks tää sen lesken talo? Oisko? Mielestäni se oli tässä alueella kanssa, mutta mä en koskaan käynyt sen luona. Täälläpäin mä kyllä oon tainnut käydä. Magdalene, how are you keeping? Fine enough, given the circumstances. Are you getting enough rest? I know how hard it is to manage a house alone, and you have the shop and mural to worry about too. I remember Clara wishing she had a distraction. Might see about her helping you and your father through this difficult season. How is Klaus, by the way? Any improvement? You're one of the only people who have asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you, carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. We cared for him best we could, but those few months before he passed were a tough time for everyone. But I believe God will pull your dad through. That's true, whatever the doctor says, we need him. God willing, you're right, I am at his mercy. God willing, amen. Have you thought about what you'll do if your dad doesn't come through this? I'd have to get married. You remember what happened to Ottilia? That poor woman. You're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassing who'd be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? You must mean Earth's. He is not as subtle as his father, God rest Otto's soul. Ah, I miss him. I wish I'd got to meet him. Properly, I mean. He made an impression, that's for certain. Oh, the girls around town know no better than to moan after him, though that didn't stop some of us. He was Eva's from the start, as Odd's supposed to be yours. But if nothing ever comes of that, know that you're always welcome in my family, Magda. Kraft's a nice, hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind. He can provide for a family. I'm not sure we're a good match. Not every marriage starts off on a solid footing, but if you pray and walk and trust in the Lord, you gotta fight it in time. Believe me. If it's not working out, how can you be sure a couple belongs together? God knows, he brings people together for a purpose. We don't need to understand it, only to have faith in Providence. In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said, whatever happens, you're always welcome in my home. Oh, before I forget, I actually had a question about an old book. Martin is supposed to have stolen it from that baron who was killed years ago. Do you know what happened to it? Oh. I hope this doesn't get me into any trouble, but I still have it, hidden in a drawer. Martin left it behind when he ran off. You went to all the trouble to take it, but didn't bring it along. Martin was a thief, but he wasn't stupid. I'm sure he realized no one would believe he'd come by the book honestly, so he couldn't save it. Where'd he keep it? What was I supposed to do? The Baron was killed soon after, and there I was, holding a stolen book. I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it though, I don't read well.
I could take it off your hands. No one would ever know you kept it. I trust you to be true to your word, Magda. I'd like to have nothing more to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of difficult times. A stolen book of a dead nobleman in our home. Perhaps it spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. Here you are. Please don't tell anyone I had this. Ah, Historia Tasiae. Oh, it's in Latin. I can understand a few words and phrases. I'll take a closer look in the evening. Thank you, Brigida. You've been a big help. Of course, Magda. Be well now. God bless. You too, Brigida. Until later. No, se kävi helposti. Gitta gave me the copy of Historia Tasiae that Martin had stolen when the Baron visited Tassin. She was nervous, but eventually let me keep the book. I should sit down to read it thoroughly soon. Perhaps I'll learn something for the mural. Morning, Magdalena. How's class? Enduring, even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be like without him. Klaus is a good man, Magdalene. Tassin is a better place next to him. He's one of the few in Tassin who hasn't been on my back all this time. What do you mean? Don't pretend like you haven't heard. Townsfolk have whispered shit about me for years. So what if I occasionally get into a few brawls? I'm a honest man. I wasn't involved with what happened to Otto Zimmerman, I suppose. I support his cause. I've put my weight around here. Tilt the soil, sort the means. Salt at the meats, provided for Brigadier Craft. I've done enough backbreaking work for this family. Can't a man just have a damned rest? Why are we always getting into fights anyway? Sometimes an asshole just needs to get his teeth pounded in. Does beating the shit out of someone really solve a problem? Maybe. Don't want to solve problems though. Don't have the patience anymore, not enough. Just want what I'm owed. I've lost enough time as it is. Time for you to go. Until later, Martin. Ehkä Martin tappoi Oton. Mutta ainakin se on pitänyt perheestään huolta. It's nice to see some green this time of year. Horehound is one of the few plants that grows year round here. I can't believe how quickly the leaves changed this year. Hi, Magdalene. Hello, Apollo. What are you doing? Looking for frogs? Artemis says she saw one the other day and we're trying to collect a bunch. Frogs don't come out this tough yet. How do you know? Artemis says she saw one. They don't. Hildegard says they're called wet creatures. They won't be out this in autumn. Oh, maybe that's why I only have one. What do you need the frogs for? I can't tell you, you snitch. If you don't tell me, maybe I will snitch. Your mother won't be happy to hear about whatever you're up to. Artemis is always saying Mom doesn't care. Mom, yes, but that's about it. Sorry, Magdalene, I can't fix this one. Try asking Artemis. Artemis and Apollo are up to something. That requires them to capture a bunch of frogs. I don't know what they plan to do with them. Agnes gathers chamomile here every year to prepare her cures for the coming year. St. Xavier's Shrine. Martha especially likes to do offerings for her. Hey, Magdalene. Hey, Artemis. Apollo said you're catching frogs. Yeah, what about it? He told me to come ask you why. You wanna say anything? He didn't tell you. Finally, he's learning to keep his mouth shut. You'll tell me, right? Fine, just promise you won't tell. Yeah, of course. Oh, alright. We want to put them in the altar, so at Mass Father Thomas reaches for the Eucharist and frogs go everywhere. I can't wait to see Father Thomas's face if he can get away with it. He'd never expect to summon frogs in his sermon on the Egyptian plagues. Be careful, Artemis, that could backfire on you. Don't worry about us, Magdalene. See you later. Teillä oli se avain, niin mä tein varasta avaimen tuota suunnitelmaa varten. Iäkkäs. Puolesta ne saa tehdä se. A pig, out here. It must have broke out of his pen. I wonder who it belongs to. Tutkinto. Mugwort is always useful for colds and fevers. It might not be as normal what to do. Oi kai semmoinen. If I want to depict the mural as accurately as possible, I have to go down the shaft myself. The entrance is so steep, no one's used it in years. There must be some way to get down there. Baltas might have some tools. I'll bet he could help me rig a way to climb down there. I'll come back later. I need some tools to help me get down to the mineshaft safely. I bet Baltas has something that can help me. Apollo and Artemis are always to no good around the old salt mine. I should ask them if they know a safe way down the shaft. I should find a way down into the salt mines. The people who used to work it may have left something behind. Toisin kysy Smokelta niistä. Mitä mä Smoken kanssa jutella, koska mulla on ne pikku epäilykset hänestä. Kaksi lavapalon. It's nice to see some green stuff of here. Warhound is one of the few plants that grows year round here. Hello, is there something I can do for you? About needs sharpening? I'm Magdalene Druckering. Are you a friend of Smokey's? I'd like to think so. I'm Vaxlav. I'm a tinker. Travel around and help people out with sharpening knives. Little things like that. Druckering. Are you a printer's daughter? My father and I are both printers. Do you sample the worst ones? As often as I can. Vaxlav, don't going to get in trouble again. What's he talking about? Nothing, ignore him. Nothing. Just one can't help but talk to people about all of the strangest things he believes. He reads all sorts of books, talks to odd folks, gets ideas brewing in his head. Now that doesn't bother all smoking on. But there's some other people a whole lot. Sounds like their problem, not his. Exactly. Sounds like there's nothing to worry about. Fine, we could run out of here again, don't blame me. Again? Do I want to know what happened? A long time ago, I got into an argument with some people in town. They told Father Thomas. To his credit, he told them to let it go, but somehow an inquisitor found out. Anyway, I have to leave for a while. Some books, strange ideas. Yes, the host, the Eucharist, the bread and wine, body and blood of Christ. Holy Communion, part of it. What about it? More and more people are writing about rejecting transubstantiation. The idea that the bread and wine of the Eucharist literally becomes the body and blood of Christ. There we go. Yes. Well, there are two ways to look at it. The first is on the grounds that Wycliffe and Hus rejected it. Using our eye and our senses, there is nothing perceptible that changes in the character of the bread and the wine. Must our senses necessarily encompass all of God's miracles for them to be real? No, not at all, but for what reason would He place them outside of the compass of our understanding? As an act of faith, blessed are those who believe but have not seen. But if that is the case, of what importance is the material composition of the host? Even if the bread and wine turned to Christ's body and blood, why is that necessary for a spiritual communion? We are bound by flesh, attempting to reunite with the light of God through the Eucharist. The act, the observance, unites our will with that of Christ. He is present in us through the remembrance, not the physical act. Are you following this, Smokey? Absolutely not, and that's what I'll say if any inquisitors come around. Are you ready to hear why it's important to disbelieve in transubstantiation? Sure, why not? I'll admit I hope for some more enthusiasm regarding the fate of our souls, but alright. This all starts with Lucifer creating the world. Excuse me? God was the Word, and the Word was truth, and the truth is light. The light is God's will. God's light contained aspects what we consider angels, facets of His infinite intellect. One of these aspects separated itself from His intellect and manifested in the darkness as the corrupt will, Lucifer. By what power could a portion of God's will separate from the whole? The will moved itself. God's intellect, being infinite, also contained the capacity to transcend the infinite. To exist outside of the boundaries of infinite light, the corrupt will brought into being an equally infinite darkness. Within that darkness, Lucifer cast his false light, a corrupted imitation of the divine intellect, to create the world. All material in our world is inherently a corrupted manifestation of that false light. We still have a connection to God through our intellect, but it is flawed by existing in our physical bodies. of Genesis is wrong. There are many stories of creation, many versions even of Genesis. Pitää paikkaa, siis Raamattuhan alkaa 2 eri tarinalla maailman luomisesta. Ihmisten luomisesta. Why should you believe yours is the correct one? You believe the one your church has given you. Maybe if you were given another, you would have believed it that instead. But you still believe you can be redeemed through Christ, right? Well, of course. Finally, in some sense. But not in the way that you think. Of course not. The way to be redeemed is to reunite our will with God's. How do we do that? Regular prayer, abstention from material desires, sublimation and elimination of want. That just sounds like being a monk. Oh no, priests and monks both are corrupt agents of the business of the church. They have taken the simplicity of holy devotion and profaned it with pageantry. The saints too. All this talk of Moritz and Satya and miracles, they're just stories. The church has led people astray, but the hope of people is put the hope of people in meaningless rituals, faith in relics. You have some interesting ideas, Vaclav. I'm glad you think so. I spent a lifetime thinking about them. Anyway, thank you for indulging me, Magdalene. Of course. Until later. Until then. Täytyy myöntää, että en kyllä paljon ymmärtänyt hänen jutusta. Good day, Mr. Struckeren. I told you, Smokey, call me Magdalene. Old habits, I suppose. What brings you to my corner of the woods? More gossip? Only ancient gossip. I was wondering if you knew anything about the old pagan and Roman mines. The mines? Is this a new interest of yours? Magdalene? I don't see the townsfolk trek out there as much anymore. Last I saw were those 2 twins making trouble. They know a way in, but I'll be damned if I ever set foot close to that place. What are you so interested in over there? The mural in the rat house needs a section about the earliest days of Tassing. The mines are the oldest part of Tassing, and you keep a keen ear. I thought you might have heard something. I don't know about getting down into the mines, but I do know a fair few stories about them, and the other Roman ruins around here. The old stories my father used to tell me when he was the burner of Tassing. The one about Mars and Tassia, the nymph, was always my favorite, though I blame that on my youth. Tassia, like Tassing? Folk named the town after a pagan god, a Roman one at that. But I don't mind telling you the tale, Magdalene, but I warn you, it's a bit boring. Oh, can't be curious. I won't be scandalizing you. Can't have your father harming me for any courses. But I'll tell the decent bits of what I remember. Everyone excuse me from the fun. You'll have your fun in time, Magdalene, you just wait and see. Alright, so what's the story? Well, legend says that Mars was hunting it in these foods, in spite of that war for the taking. He just pulled back his spear when he heard a woman scream in terror. Of course the creature ran off and the god was angry at the loss of his quarry. So he trampled through the woods to see why a woman was in the forest and not in the local town. Why would a god be hunting in Tassing's forest? How should I know? Maybe he just wanted a brisk walk. Besides, why should anything the gods do make sense? These were the old days when spirits and ghosts prowled. What do you mean prowled? Prowled, you know, like spirits and other evil things do. I can't just say they walk through the woods like you or me and they prowled. Alright, keep going. So, Mars found a nymph, Tassia bathing in the spring with a fat ugly satyr goading her from the shore. Enraged at seeing the trapped nymph, Mars transformed into a wolf and slew the satyr. And in return, well... Tassia baited the god. I get it, they aged. I did warn you, Magdalene. When Mars left the pool, he ripped onto the ground and it blossomed with flowers and crops. They say that's why this valley is so fertile. That might be a trick to paint on the mural. I'm not sure if the council would approve. I doubt they would, but you're the artist, aren't you? You get to choose what the mural shows. I wouldn't let those old bastards keep you from painting what you want. So much of what the Romans left behind was destroyed over the years, but I like that we still have these tales. You can never really destroy stories as long as there are people to tell them. Of course, the Romans left a hell of a lot behind too. The town is more Roman than Bavarian, really. Holy Roman Empire, the largest and most powerful European state in its time. The Holy Roman Empire was made up of many peoples and suffered from much internal strife during the Reformation, despite Emperor Maximilian's firm hand over the land. Because of how long it was a Roman colony. That and how much of the town is built upon the Roman foundations. Tasing is actually much smaller now than it was in the Romans' day, at least that's what I make of it. The ruins go deep into the forest and all the way to the old mine. Half of Tasing is built on Roman stone. Take a walk around town and you'll start noticing things. We used their stone to build. The old temple by Satya's shrine has grown over, but the aqueduct runs for miles. Even though Abbey used to be an old Roman fort, you can see some of the Roman gravestones under the road if you look hard. We may not be Roman, but this town is. I never realized how much we relied on the Romans for our infrastructure. Most of the people around here don't. The townsfolk are too busy to notice what's right in front of their eyes. Maybe I should go take a look at the mine. I'd get a better sense of what things were actually like. Huh. Nothing will stop you, I say. Well, I want to either. Just keep an eye for any wolves or satyrs you might see down there, okay? Hey? I'll let you know if I see any. Thanks for your help. Good luck, Magdalene. Be safe. Smokey told me a story about the Romans. He said that the god Mars was hunting in the woods. God Mars was hunting in the woods near Tassing when he heard a woman cry out. When he investigated, he found a satyr trying to have his way with a nymph. Mars took the form of a wolf and killed the satyr. The nymph rewarded him with her favors and supposedly it blessed the spring, which blessed the lands around Tassing. It might be too carnal for the mural, but maybe I could use it. Ja mä pitää keksiä mennä puhumaan. Ja silloin siinä ykköschapterissa puhuu tästä kirkosta, että tää on kirkon perustuksesta. Tääkin on varmaan rakennettu jotenkin roomalaisten raunioiden päällä.
Sitten aika moni kirkko taitaa tosimaailmassakin olla. Käytetty vanhoja pakalatemppelien tilalla. Miten se sitten liittyy tähän pelijuoneen? Vai liittyykö mitenkään, niin se jää nähtäväksi. Magdalene, hello. I was just jotting down a few new ideas. Did you need something? Yes, if you have a moment, I need to get into the old salt mine. I don't have a way down. Can you help me? Get into the salt mine, yes. Just be on quite the adventure. Ideally, we could rig up a double pulley system to lower and raise yourself in the shaft. But that might take a while. Well, I would like to go in today, if possible. Of course. Would a good length of rope suffice? You could brace against the wall of the mineshaft. Are you strong enough to support your own weight? Against the wall? Oh, I think so. Excellent. Thank you, Baltas. Of course. Here you go. Do be careful though, make sure the ropes are secure. I will. Until later. Good luck, Magdalene. Tämähän ei voi mennä mitenkään pieleen. Baltas gave me this rope to climb down, but it might take a while. Should I go now? Hell yeah. There are a lot of different coins down here. How odd. It's not like this is a saint's well. Oh, a tablet. There's still writing on it. Oh, it's a poem. I think it's a love note. I would have chucked this shit out of mineshaft too. Oh, this looks like a larger version of some of Baltas's contraptions. Now that I'm down here, I should see what I can find from the Roman era and before. Oh, bones. They're far too big to be human. No horns. Looks like a mule to me. Maybe it hauled that winch. Poor creature dying down here.
Oh, a piece of pottery. It's beautiful. Yet another pottery piece. Oh, this must be the same kind of figurine still and the other farmers find in the fields. To think that there are so many remnants of our ancestors scattered in fields and caves like this. Here's another piece. Hey, this piece looks like it matches the other piece I found. Another shard. Another piece. I wonder if they're all the same spot. There's a Latin inscription here. Does Sia give me water or Pluto preserve me? This salt is drying me to death. Yikes, doesn't sound like walking down here was pleasant. Oh, this looks like a Roman map of Tassin. I wonder what's changed. Let's see if I can map everything out. There's the aqueduct and the spring. And Abbey was an old fort up on the hill and there's the rest of town. Wait, what's this building? I don't recognize it. Mitraeum. I don't recognize that word from any of my books. I can't quite tell what it means to label on the map. Maybe some sort of temple. Well, whatever it is, it's not in Tassin now. That's so odd. Mitraismihan taisi olla joku semmonen joku uskonto. Rooman ajoilta, mutta mä en sen tarkemmin muista sitä mitä. Muistaakseni sotilaiden suosiossa oli. Another inscription. It's not very formal. A walker must have carved. Lightus soul ascended into Mitraeum. My soul will descend in this damned hole of salt. Christ, that's rough. What's that word again? Mitraeum. Mitraeum. It must have been important to the Romans. Ooh, another piece. This almost looks like an altar, but what would an altar be doing in a salt mine? It's even carved out of the salt. Oh, another shard. More Latin writing. If we cannot enter the Mitraeum, we will make our own altar to the gods. It sounds like the Mitraeum was some kind of temple. Huh. I've never heard the word before. This pottery is scattered everywhere. I have a lot of these pottery pieces. I should find out if they're all from the same pot. Nyt voi pyöritellä. Great.
Saisi plekkari pudotettuukaan pois täältä. Tuosta tuommoinen. Sinä menet selkeästi siihen. No. Hätäisesti haluaa lähteä liikuttanut palikot. Like so. Got it. The figures on the spotlight look like they're telling a story. These paintings must depict an early myth, even before the Romans. Let's see. This must be Bergta, and those must be forest spirits, part of the wild hunt. Oh god, the next part looks like a human sacrifice. Someone, maybe a chieftain, is sacrificing a man to Bergta. The bottom half of the list continues the story. These look like spirits. They must be coming in to feast on the sacrifice. That must be how our ancestors tried to keep Tasing safe. They offered sacrifices to Bergta. This is part of our history, but I'm not sure this is the best story to portray. I'll have to think more about it before I decide for certain. Alright, I'd better keep going before I run out of oil in my lamp. Oh, a cave-in. The wood here looks newer than the first part of the mine. Was this collapse recent? I won't be able to go any further with all the rubble. I suppose this is as far as I can go. Still, the murals on the wall showed me what Tasing was like when the Romans were here. I wonder if I can find out where the Mithraeum was, or what it is. And putting the pottery shard back together showed one of the earliest stories of Tasing. I think I've seen everything I can down here, and my oil is running out. Time to climb back out. I learned some interesting things from the pottery fragments I reassembled in the mines. I might be able to use this legend about Bergta in the mural. I also saw an ancient map of Tasing carved into the wall of the mine. There was a building on the map labeled Mithraeum. I'm not sure what it means, but I can't really figure out where it would be in our town today. Anyway, I can't use that part in the mural. It's just odd. What? Wait, who's that? Hello? Is someone there? I'd better get out of this shaft before another rock comes crashing down. Who was that? Even Apollo and Artemis would have helped me out of here. Well, now that I have some information, I can make some decisions on the first section of the mural. You. Yes? I'm Halbrand, the Lord's gamekeeper. Why are you grazing pigs in the woods? I'm not. That's not my pig. I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only other person I've seen. If the pig doesn't belong to you, what are you doing here? Does everyone have to justify being in the woods? If I think you're stealing the Lord's wood or illegally grazing your pigs, yes. Alright, let me ask a different question. Whose pig is this? I don't know, the pig was in the woods when I came here. A mysterious lost pig, who apparently belongs to no one. I suppose so. If I find any more pigs in this woods, I'll kill them on the spot. And those who brought them here, do you understand? Yes? Good. Remind your neighbors what happens when you break the Lord's laws. I knew the Lordsmen patrolled these woods, but I've never seen one before. I didn't realize they were so strict. I suppose I should consider myself lucky. Anyway, time to get out of these woods and back to work at the rat house. Kyllä mä tän kartan mukaan voisin mennä muuallekin. Hetkonen. Kaksi vaihtoehtoa, joo. Joko Il Peter tai sitten se Till. Il Peter on kyllä aikaisemminkin tiennyt. Osannut kertoa Perktasta. Nyt ehkä me voitaisiin saada vähän lisätietoa. Vasta pakanarituaaleista. Toisaalta Tiltun, sehän on tuntenut Rooma-juttuja. Kyllä me mieluummin Tilille juttuja. Tai siis alkuperäisen Tilin pojan pojalle. Mitä sukua sä olikaan? God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Dylan. Do you have a moment? Of course, what do you need? It says you've been obsessed with your painting. I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mural. Mother Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of the town. Oh, fertile fields, that is. Seemed like old potshot and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Granddad's reading came from the Abbey's library, though, and you know what happened there. Poof, up in a smoke. So you don't have any of his old books? I'll do a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. But I can show you something better than the books. Evidence? Something like that. See, we don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looks to be an old forge, mountains of salt. You even found a little bear cart from amber. Where are you keeping all these things? No, we just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much anything with the stuff except look at it. Where did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things, Fabian too. Any farmer would tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields, under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something. What do you think it all means? I don't follow. How do you think these people lived? Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. You don't find much of their clothes or their houses, so they must have it. I guess that would mean they were living in huts. But their tools are good quality. If they weren't rusted all to hell, I could probably use them today. I don't know why, but I assumed they'd live in caves or in the muck. They weren't Christians, no doubt about that, but they weren't animals either. I'd say they had it hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really. Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? I have to have, I'd say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why dashing was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt. So dashing wasn't just on the Imperial Road, they made the road come through dashing. This has been a big help. Glad to spread some knowledge around, important for folks to know their past. You think all this pagan stuff will make it in the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the rat house tomorrow, if that'd help at all. I guess I can take a look at it. Great, that's great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. Until tomorrow. Until then. I should get back to the rat house and get to work. I should head to the rat house and finalize my plans. Okei, nyt mennään. Kyllä mä kai vieläkin voisin käydä tuolla kierttereilläkin. Mutta totta helvetissä mä menen sinne. Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? What's that? Can I talk to you for a moment? I thought you shouted me. I'm sorry, Peter. What do you want anyway? I was wondering if you could tell me some of the stories about dashing. Oh, the old tales, huh? It's been so damn long since anyone had a thought to ask me about what I know. But there's still a few of the old tales knocking about in the skull. Are there any myths from even before the Romans came to dashing? Of course there are. The Romans weren't the first ones there, you know. There are spirits older than the saints that live in these woods, older than the Romans. They protected dashing before Saint Moritz ever set a blessed foot in town. I thought spirits only caused trouble, spoiling milk, making livestock sick, things like that. Some do, yes, but what do you think pissed the spirits off? Us? What can farmers do against spirits, eh? It's Berchtein's wild hunt that scared them evil ones away. They've protected dashing since its founding day. Long before those Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Ritus. Wait, isn't Ritus a Latin name? Eh? The ending on his name is the masculine singular ending common on most Roman names. Most male Roman names. Plenty of names end with the same letters. Doesn't make them Latin, does it? Now quit your yabbering and listen. Folk weren't as kind as they are now, and the tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favored other tribes, and Ritus people had no land to call their own. Instead, they wandered through these mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day, when winter was approaching, Ritus went hunting and found a wounded wolf tangled in a trap. Instead of killing the beast as most men would, he held the beast and loosed it from his bonds. Was the wolf a spirit in disguise? Of course not. Wolves are wolves, girl. Spirits don't need the skins of animals for their power. Still, you got the sense of the thing. The old gods are keen to repay favors done, and Bertha is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals. She leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts of the forest. Back in my day, folk knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm the only one who remembers those things. Bertha saw Ritus' action and took favor in him, and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Ritus led his people to the spring and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in this valley ever since. Then those goddamn Romans came and destroyed everything, but you see, there were other gods protecting this place before Saint Moritz. This is why a few of us still honor Bertha. She protects us against witches and fiends. Smokey told me about a similar story with a wolf and a nymph, except his was about the Roman gods. The Romans tried to wipe out all of the old ways, made everything about themselves. Do you think those wine-addled fools could stand to let us have our own custom? They may have built this town, but they didn't write its stories. God sent Bertha to protect these wolves from those sun-brained bastards. Even if I'm the only one who can see her through the old customs. What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of Tassing? Roman legends? Bah! I don't bother with stories from outside the tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy the town. We spent generation after generation building Tassing back up from those days. And still our traditions keep dying, with no one to carry them on. Only Ursula's giving a damn about them these days. I'm asking about them right now. Well, I don't know shit about the Romans anyway. Alright. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter. At least someone wants to listen to me. Little Ursula used to sit by me years ago and listen to everything about the old customs. Too busy for that now, of course, but you might talk to her. She might remember more than I do now. Used to listen to the widow too. Old Ottilia knew more about the old ways than any of us. I'm tired. Talking so much has made my jaw ache. I'll leave you to rest then. God bless you, Peter. Little Peter told me a story about our ancestors and how they found Tassing. Ritus was a lord or a chieftain among our people. During a hunt he found a wolf, but he noticed the wolf's bow was injured by a trap. He spared the wolf's life, and the goddess Bertha used the wolf to guide Ritus and his people to Tassing Spring. The tribe settled in this valley and lived here until the Romans came. It's more myth than history, but it certainly makes for a nice story. Hello, Magdalene. No. Ilmeisesti mä sitten voin puhua Ursulalle. Mikäli on. Olisin koskaan voinutko puhua sille. Anyway. Anne mut nyt käskettiin. Hey Max, how's the mural coming along? For Christ's sake, Utz. What? How many times do I have to tell you? Use my proper name. Oh, right, sorry.
Anyway, Magdalene, how's the moral going? It doesn't look like much yet. Well, of course it doesn't look like anything now. I only just finished priming the wall. Now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. Even what I could find out about the Romans and pagans was obscure. I had to go into the old Southman to find anything. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. So, what is it? Il Peter remembered a legend about a chieftain, Raitas, who held a wolf that led him to a spring. Oh, really? Is that how we all got here? Kind of sounds like some story I heard about a saint. I don't think I've heard it, sorry. No. So what made you choose this story anyway? It's a story about a pagan past that isn't overly supernatural. I guess if it's just a wolf and a man and a spring, that makes sense. Hopefully that will give heart to Thomas from Haslinger. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I figured this portion of the mural out, I'd better start thinking about next section. I'll leave you to it, Max. Magdalene. Good night, Ed. Good night, Magdalene. Now that I've decided how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Kiersau's history. Mother Illuminatus later mentioned that Matthew Fosigny Sogs used to be a brother in Kiersau. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer too. I should write to them both now, before bed. Oh, before I write, I should read that old book Brigitta gave me. Maybe I'll learn something pertinent for the murals. Now that I've decided how to portray Tassing's early history, I need to think about how to represent our early Christian history. Mother Illuminata suggested I should write to Matthew Fosigny. He was Kiersau's sacristan and may be a good source of information. Magdalene. Hey Dad, how are you feeling? Can I get you anything? No, I'm fine. You go on. Alright, I'll come back and check on you later. Alright, where to begin? Right, the old book. It was the Barons before Martin stole it. When the Romans, having conquered the town, built up the walls around it, they established many temples there. This is harder to read than I thought. The book isn't in great shape either, since it's been sitting in a farmer's house for so long. Let's see. Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town. That might be easier to read. Eriko simulacrum in Macreut Maras nostrum operem conspiciat. I raise a vision in a field so that Mars may behold our work. Huh. Sedit Diana loco scaturigionosus ipsa. Diana, the virgin Roman goddess of the hunt and the wilderness. Diana is also associated with fertility, the moon and the underworld. Diana sat in a place with water oozing up from herself. What does that mean? Oremus ut defendat oppidum. Let us pray so that he or she may defend the town. None of this really makes any sense. Maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. The book is so big though, it would be a lot of work. I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltas for help. Werner too is much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Maybe in Father Thomas, even though Dad warned me not to bother with him secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. I should finish writing my letters first. Mother Illuminati told me that Matthew knew some of the Abbey's early history. He is the Archdeacon of Sion now. I should write to him before the snows come. I'll write to Esther too. Most revered Matthew Forsigny Saw, Archdeacon of Sion. My name is Magdalene Drucker and I'm the daughter of Tassing's town printer Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's Rathaus. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Kersau's early history. I understand you're a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the Abbey's history, we would appreciate it. I know it may be a small comfort, but there are many in Tassing who regret what happened during the revolt. Sister Gertrude is still here with the poor Claras, and she speaks fondly of the old abbey. Thank you for your help. Magdalene. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. So much has happened since I last wrote. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked at the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Doctors told said that he's not going to recover, that it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. I don't want to believe it, but it's hard to argue with Dad's condition. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father or why. I found a note by him too. All it said was, "Stop." It wasn't from the shop, because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassing has such skill in script, as far as I know. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. I can't wait to leave this place. Maybe it's the coming of winter, but Tassing feels more and more cramped. I've had enough of everyone asking me about the mural and doubting my skill. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores. And worrying about Dad. Urge has been going over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints too. I wish he'd stop. He's not subtle and his flirting is annoying. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Magda. I should write back to Esther to let her know all of the things that have been happening here. The letters are done, I should go to bed. I hope I hear back from Matthew soon. I was only able to read a little bit of the Historia dossier. The Latin is difficult and the book is in bad condition after sitting in a peasant's drawer for so long. From what I could read, the book talks about various monuments that were made to the Roman gods around town. I should ask around town for help translating the Latin. Sister Gertrude, Baltas, Dr. Stolz and even Father Thomas may be able to read it for me. Tehdä se nyt vai? Toivottavasti mä en voi tehdä sitä nyt. Voidaan mä käydä kurkkiimassa. Ja, Magdalene. Okei. Se on sitten seuraavan päivän. Seuraavan päivän asialistalla. Käykää se Klaus vielä tsekkaamassa. Ennen kuin isken pään tyyny. Hello, Magdalene. On se elossa. It's late, I should get some rest soon. Okei, ei ollutkaan seuraava päivä homma. Mr. Strucker, a few more letters for you. Take care. Thank you, sir. Safe travels. The first letter is from Reverend Matthew. Mr. Struckeren, I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Kiersau. Even so, I remember your father was one of the townsfolk who prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I am not overly inclined to assist the people of Tassing in their endeavors to catalogue the origins of the abbey they destroyed. However, it was a long time ago. In the interest of posterity and Christian charity, I will tell you what I recall. Sometime after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Kiersau Abbey on the ruins of a fortress. The abbey was founded by a noble woman at the Kiersau family. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Kiersau changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the same time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were frowned upon by the Pope. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbors put any other records about the abbey to the torch. Sic arsit historia Kiersis. Thus burned the history of Kiersau. While we cannot change the past, I have heard that Sisters of the Poor Clares have formed a new chapter at the abbey. I can only hope that their love of apostolic poverty has not driven them to impoverish the shrine of Saint Moritz. Assuming they have not consigned the contents of Kiersau's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something there. It is hard to be overjoyed at the news of your neighbor's late regrets. Many of the injuries inflicted 18 years ago will never heal. Regret cannot undo what has been done, but we can all find redemption through Christ. We must pray for love and reconciliation in the days ahead. In the end, that is all that matters. Winter comes swiftly. Huguenots and Lutherans plague my homeland. Huguenots, a group of French Calvinists, known for their vocal and sometimes violent opposition to the Catholic Church. Thank the Lord you still live in a land ruled by the one true Church. I hope this has been of some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. The Most Reverend Matthew for Chassigny, Archdeacon of Sion. Another reply from Esther. Oh, Magdalene. I am terribly sorry to hear about your father. My parents sent their deepest condolences. If we can provide you anything from Prague, you need only send word. I know we are further away than is easy to travel, but I will see that we can do what Hashem allows. Hashem, literally the name in Hebrew. This is a way to refer to God indirectly in informal conversations or writing. Father says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. Yet the night I was born he remembers great strife in town. Perhaps there is old blood over depicting the night of the revolt? That is all he could suggest. We pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make all things right in time. He will exact justice on the culprit. I am encouraged to hear that the town council let you continue the mural at all. The guilds here would protect your right to complete the job, especially once a contract has been reached. You will like Prague much better than Tassing, I think. Truly, I cannot wait for you to finish. But I am glad that you have found some joy in your work on the mural in the meantime. We are all well here. Elisha has been carving a new set of wood cuttings and father has agreed to a new contract with the university. I found Simund. His family didn't move far away after all. He's planning on working as a doctor in the city once the expulsion order ends. His parents have been meeting with mother and father quite often now. So I hope that I will be sending good news in my next letter. With Hashem's help. Please inform us of your father's condition in your next letter. Be well. Esther. That's all the letters I have for now. I should head home and check on Dad. Werner was supposed to come check on Dad today. I wonder where he is. Maybe I shall try to find him later. Good morning, Magdalene. Good morning, Dad. Feeling any better? Your fever broke at dawn this morning. A little stronger. All things in time. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day? I'm working on the next section of the mural today. I'm not so hungry right now. I'll be alright. Your letter from the Archdeacon, yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? He didn't have much to say. He was still upset about the abbey's destruction. He did say the abbey was founded by a noblewoman after the Romans left. Everything else burned in the fire. How unfortunate. I know the brothers kept careful records of the monastery. So much lost in one night. The Archdeacon did suggest the poor Clares might have held on to some of the records from the convent. I should be able to learn more about Tassing's Christian history there. An excellent place to start, Magdalene. Sister Gertrude doesn't come out of the convent much, but I think it's worth asking her. Maybe Father Thomas knows something too. I should talk to him. If I recall correctly, the miller's wife has a long family history in Tassing. She may know something of the local history that others have forgotten. Elsa? I thought she moved here when she married. She doesn't have any relatives in town. Not anymore. Age, illness and marriage took the rest of the family. But the Caviezells used to live all up and down this valley. Go talk to her. I will. Thanks, Dad. Maybe something remained in the Abbey's ruins. I should definitely see what's left.
Magdalene, you be careful. Those ruins are dangerous.
I won't go far into them then, just to take a look.
Alright, wear a scarf too, it's getting cold out now. I can feel it in my old bones.
Don't worry, Dad. I'll see you tonight, alright?
Alright, good luck.
Reverend Matthew suggested that poor Clarice may have preserved whatever was left in Kiersa after the fire. I should talk to Sister Gertrude about visiting the convent and the abbey. Father Thomas is always talking about dashing stains. I should ask him more about them. Dad also suggested I talk to Else up at the mill. He said her family has lived in Dashing for generations. She might be able to tell me about Dashing's history. There was a mass release of frogs from the tabernacle on Sunday Mass, while the whole town was in attendance. I'm certain the twins had something to do with it. Pystynköhän mä... Onko se historiatassia ainakin täällä on vielä? Ehkä mä voin vielä kysyä sitä käännöstä. No, Clara on täällä. Magdalene, dear. Hello, Clara. Thank you again for helping me look after the house. I can't tell you how much more time this gives me to work on the mural. Oh, it's no trouble. You have your hands full as it is. I know Dad really enjoys the company while I'm working too. Ah yes, he sleeps most of the day, but he's been in good spirits whenever I drop in on him. You two keep a clean house too, well, aside from the workshop, but I can't blame you for that. I've left that to you to take care of. I don't want to damage any of your supplies. Thank you, Clara, truly. You've been such a blessing to us both. Oh, you're such a dear, Magdalene. God bless you. I'll clean it up later. The mural is more important. Ja nyt. Tärkeintä on lopettaa striimi. Melkein 3 tuntia tuli tässä pelattu. Huomenna mä en ainakaan kyllä ehdi striimaamaan. Koska varmaan nukun pitkään. Koska on kattonut WrestleMania koko yön ja pitää käydä äänestämässä ja sitten seurata tuloslähetystä. Jaksaisiko mä sitten maanantaina ehkä striimata, niin jää nähtäväksi. Tiistai on ehkä uskottavampi päivä. Mutta tietenkin jos voit lupaan, että tiistaina jatketaan, niin sitten mä en ainakaan jatka silloin. Mutta joo. Kiitoksia vaan mukana olleille ja hyvää yötä ja viikonloppua ja kaikkea semmoista. Muistakaa käydä äänestämässä, jos ette vielä ole. Hei hei!